Blender character modeling tutorial series for beginners. We are going to pick up right where we left off, part 21, y'all. Today we will build the breasts of our character, and we're going to dive right in. So with face selected, we're going to grab the faces of our breast and extrude it out. So we're going to shift click 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me make sure. I'm going to jump in a side view. Yeah, so this is going to be, that might even be a little too much. I wonder if we need 1, 2. We'll build this out. So really, like everything we've done so far, it's going to be boxy and sharp before it's smooth and organic, like animate objects, right? Like the human flesh. So we'll kick back around. Let's N into our tools over here. Go to our tools and go to our loop tools. Remember, that's the add-on that we added in the very beginning. And let's circularize this. Okay, and there we go. I want to make sure that this didn't bring that. Yep, that attached there. I did not want that to happen. So let me X out of this. Control Z. Control Z. So maybe if we bring this over a little bit, that won't happen. There we go. That's what we're looking for. More or less. I'm going to kick in a side view. And then I'm going to grab it, move it out a tiny bit, and then extrude. Okay? And now, this obviously looks pretty comical almost, but well, it's the very beginning. There will be form. So let's scale that down and then grab and bring it up. And you can see right away you have the curvature of the breast. It's still very mechanical and it's still very sharp, and it's like, well, it's as if you're building an organic form out of polygonal geometry. We will add that softness. So, okay, so we're going to grab this up a little bit, and I can scale that in a little more, and we'll obviously have some loop cuts to create this form. We'll come around here, and that's a little, right, so this down here, let's go to grab this edge, this edge, this edge, and this edge, and bring these over. Right, and we're really, you've been playing this game long enough. We're really just kind of aligning the template that we're running with. I'm gonna kick around in a side view, and all I'm doing, and you can watch the screencast, I'm rotating some of the edges just to align this breast. And I'm gonna grab both of these, bring these back. You still want some straightness in the geometry. I say some, much straightness in the geometry. Bring this back. Bring this back. Bring this back. Kind of establishing a center line here. We'll bring this up. We'll bring these. All I'm doing is grabbing vertices. Okay, we got this here, we'll bring that there, this back here, this up. Okay, and again, it's still wildly deformed, and that's, again, that's okay. We'll bring it to life, you guys, not to worry. Okay, and let's grab our faces here. We're going to build out this form a little bit more. Let's make sure my wireframe overlay is selected. Okay, not too shabby. This crease in the belly is something that I want to address quickly. I'm going to do one, and then two. Let me kick over here. Just bring these out real quick. There we go. Just a little more natural form. And then what we can do is let's add some loop cuts. So we'll add 2 loop cuts here. And then let's go into sculpt mode and really just try and smooth out the form. Here, I'll make this a little bit bigger. Okay, you know what? I'm going to kick it back into edit mode. Let's add one more edge loop here, and then another one here. Okay, so now we have more geometry to mess with. And then these 6 faces, let's bring these to a point. So let's take these and then hit M and merge them to a center. So we want this to be a point. Okay. And now this will obviously be the tip of the nipple that we can bring. Oh, excuse me, I'll escape out of that. Just the vertex here. This vertex will obviously come up. We'll bring that up, so that'll kind of be, well, all right, we'll deal with that momentarily. And then now, let's sculpt this. Let's really just kind of add some smoothness here. Really kind of smooth this in. Go into sculpt and we can inflate, right? Now that we've kind of smoothed the geometry, now we can add a little more form and shape. To our chest. And really kind of build out the curvature of that breast. Okay. Kick in a side view. Down here, filled out. Okay, and it's super important to, it might look fine in one angle, but then the other angle, you really want to make sure you're kind of building this out from all angles, because it could look, boxy or square or lopsided, and, let's bring this in. See up top, let's smooth that out. Okay, smooth that. And then we just build out the breast. Okay, I'm going to, real quick, I'm going to kick this in a wireframe mode. And select a couple of these vertices. Bring that back. Like that. What is? Bring these back like that. Okay. Pop this out a little bit. See how that looks. Just to kind of make it a little more natural to form. Then I might need another loop cut here. Bring this in like that. Bring that in like that. Maybe another loop cut. So now we're adding just a little more geometry. Pull this back. Pull this back. Pull this back. And we're just trying to build it out. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect, right? There are modifiers that we're going to plug on here. We'll absolutely add that smoothness. Okay. All right, let's handle this nipple. So let's, all right, I'm going to plug back over to sculpt mode. I'm going to inflate and build out this, okay? Just based on this model here. Let's call it that. And then on top, okay, now the bottom actually works here in terms of size. What I want to do here is, well, first let me get face select on this. That I'm going to bring up here, rotate down, and bring it down a little bit, and just kind of scale that in. Okay. Really, once you kind of have the center of the areola, around that you can build the rest of the form. And now let's go into sculpt mode and smooth this out a little bit, because it's just massive and jagged. Okay. Here, you know what we can add? Do we smooth this out? Is it here? So there's that form. This comes down. We smooth, there we go. We smooth this up to here. Pull that over. Okay, that's starting to look, the bottom curvature of the breast is still starting to pull in a little bit. Let's bring that. Get this up even more. Over here. Okay, this needs to come back. Got it. Pull that back. Oh, I'm going to go to vertex select and really just try and smooth this out right here. Again, all we're doing is eyeballing. Just try and make it adhere to your model. If you're using our reference image, great. If you're using, a reference image that doesn't have, such an aggressive form, then you're probably having an easier go of it. Let's start to grab. Let's start to grab stuff. Bring this out a little bit. Because it's not just a flat chest and then just a giant breast out, right? There's a slope to it, right? Put these in. Side, then you have that down. Add some fullness to the side. That out. This actually needs to come in a little bit. Okay, and we'll go back into edit mode, and then with face select these faces, and then we'll make this even smaller and bring that over here just to align that nipple there. Okay, so our reference is here, looks centered around the nipple, and then here it's a little higher, so the reference is off probably an 1/8 of an inch. We'll scale that down and maybe rotate it and bring it up. Okay, and that is, let's go to nice curvature of a breast right there. Okay, still a little jagged in areas here. Okay, so let's smooth that out. I'll shrink that brush down. Go here. And again, it's okay. Right? You just want to get your basic shape. And we'll smooth it out in post. Okay, so not bad. Now, one thing, what is kind of bothering me is this arm up here. So let's get this arm a little bit in. Let's select this edge loop. Okay, and then shift select up here. Okay, and let me bring this up and in, maybe here. Okay, then let's do the same with these guys. Come here, bring that out like that. Bring that up like that. Okay. Just a little more. She's got a little more arm there. Okay, so let's add a little bit more over here. And that is, more or less good enough, because we're going to add, we will smooth this out later on. But one thing that is kind of bothering me, let me pull this in a little bit. Here, wireframe. Pull that in. Let me see what this is. Let me just try something right quick. Let me scale that in, bring that up, bring this in like that. See, you don't want to do it, you don't want to mess too much of it up, but you do want it to match your drawing. So if you need, if that means pulling out individual vertices, then okay, then that's what that means, right? Just to get that form where you know it needs to be. Okay, and if you need more geometry, then add some. Right? This is old hat to you. You know how to add geometry. Okay, let's go back into sculpt mode. Smooth this out a little bit. same thing as before. So we went too much, we elongated up top, and then we shrunk it down on the bottom. So now let's go back to inflate. Blow that up a little bit. Let's see up here. Around, and there, that's so the bottom of that breast starts filling out. Excellent. Okay. And then around the side, plenty. Bring that up here. There's that. I think we can smooth this down underneath. Oh, excuse me, I was hitting inflate. I meant to hit smooth. So there's that, and that comes around, and then, you know, it's actually, it's a little higher up here, so let's, right, there's that curvature around the side. And, okay, looks all right from the front, and then from the side. Got that on the bottom again here. And up top. Okay, cool. So let's smooth this down one last time. Just to smooth our geometry. Oh my god, I did it. I go to hit it. Nothing happens. Went to hit inflate. Make this a little bigger. I don't know why it's bending that in. Okay, so that looks all right from the front. Let's add another loop cut here to get that areola. Okay, and we'll come around the side. And this needs to be tamped down a little bit. If you need to use the grab tool, use the grab tool. If smooth is, you know, not giving you what you need, and you got to use a different tool, then okay, use a different tool. This looks over here. We've got that fullness, so you pull this up. We can match this over here. Let me bring that in. There we go. We can get the actual tract of the breast. Collarbone up here. Outstanding. From there, and now this is why you got to check from every angle, because it can look, you know, it can look acceptable, from one angle, and then from another angle, it's like, what the heck, you guys? Okay, and then let's just smooth this out. I'm gonna pinch this in a little bit, like that. And now I'm just gonna smooth. Okay, so there's that, and there's that. Not bad. Not bad at all. Again, without adding any type of skin modifier, which adds a level of smoothness. We haven't even shaded this smooth yet, which is definitely something we're going to do. We haven't added any subdivision surface modifiers. I mean, there are loads of, like, we're not done by a long sight with the form. This is just a base mesh. Bring this, you know what? I think I want to grab these. One more thing. Grab this, pull that up a little bit, bring that over a little bit, like that. Okay, and we'll deal more with this later. But in the early going, there you go. So we've got the breast from the front, from the side. Little, you know what? Again, we might need a little more down here. Sculpt. I'm just gonna inflate it just a tiny little bit because we've spent too much time on this already. Like that. Like that. Like that. Okay, there's your breast. Coming along, moving along. All right, so we're building out our base mesh. This is a little too, all right, that's a little too inverted as well. I'm gonna clean that up real quick. With vertex selected. One, shift click, anything else? Maybe shift click, and come back here. Just pull these out a tiny little bit. I might go to wireframe mode so I can see. Go undo that. Oh, okay, so that's just the small of the back, but this one is actually pretty deep, as is this. So let me go here, kick into wireframe mode, and just pull these out a tiny little bit right there. And then we also need to add this back. Haven't really added the back at all, but we will. We'll do the back shortly. Okay, so let's save our work with Control S. This is fine enough for, remember, it's a base mesh topology. Okay, really super primitive. We're gonna add a bunch of stuff on top of this. It's gonna get nice and smooth. And all right, form's coming along. We don't have any hands yet. We do have a nice little head, but we don't have any hands. So in the next one, we're going to build hands. Get up, get a stretch. I'm going to do some kettlebell exercises, you guys. And in the next one, we will do some hands.